Transit, the supervan. Big, fast, efficient.
And 60 years old this week, the Ford Transit, the world's best-selling van.
It was this week 60 years ago when the very first Ford Transit van rolled off the production line.
It went on to become a firm favourite with businesses and traders around the UK and, of course, beyond. Now, when I spoke to Dan about this yesterday, he was really excited. He was really, really looking forward to being out on location. And look, you've already managed to get yourself behind the wheel. Look at the smile on your face. Morning.
Oh, morning, Naga, Charlie. I mean, this is just absolutely fantastic, isn't it? So welcome to Buckinghamshire, and we're at the Transit Van Fan Club. We're going to meet a few of the members of that fan club in just a few minutes, but I want to show you some of the stunning vehicles they've got here, and this is the cherry on the cake for me. This is an original 1965 Ford Transit van, and just look at the condition. It's absolutely pristine. Now, a little later in the programme, we've got a stunning collection of vehicles we're going to show you through, but I've got some facts for you that I want to run by you first of all. So, as you say, the 60th anniversary of this beautiful, beautiful machine. The very first one rolled off the production line 60 years ago tomorrow, the 9th of August, 1965. Now, if you wanted to buy one back then, it would have set you back the grand total of a list price, this doesn't include sales tax, a list price of £542. Doesn't sound too bad, does it? But when you turn that into today's money, it's around about £9,000. So it's an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous machine. Millions of them were made around the UK, and basically they were sent around the UK, they were sent around the world, and obviously they were very much a workhorse of the economy. And I mean, just look at this. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous machine. And in fact, a colleague of mine, Theo Leggett, he's been taking a look back at the history of this beautiful vehicle.
Transit, the supervan. Big, fast, efficient.
The Ford Transit first went on sale in 1965 and it made an immediate impact. It was designed to be a van for everyone, from your local builder, electrician or delivery man to wannabe rock stars touring the country in search of gigs.
Fitted with a 7-litre Ford V8 engine.
And it had the reputation for being so robust you could even use it for rallying. These days there are millions of vans on our roads, and if you want to buy a new one, there are plenty of different models to choose from. But in 1965, it simply wasn't like that. When the Transit first appeared, it was bigger, it was more powerful, it was more practical than any other van on the road. So if you're a tradesman and you managed to get your hands on one, maybe take it up one of those newfangled motorways, you really did feel like you were van driving royalty.
Mama, man of means, by no means, king of the road.
Over the next 6 decades, more than 30 million Transits were sold, and it remains the world's best-selling van. There was a downside though. Criminals loved the Transit too. In 1975, London's Metropolitan Police apparently claimed it was used in 95% of bank robberies, making it Britain's most wanted van. Today, a new generation of transit vans is being developed at Ford's UK headquarters near Basildon. Will there ever be another mould breaker like the original Transit?
We're working on it. We see the revolution mainly is around propulsion and software, and that's really where we think the next step change will come.
A Transit that's even more rugged.
Ford likes to dwell on the Transit's British heritage, but while engines and electric motors are still built in this country, the vans themselves are not. Something I asked their UK boss about.
We manufacture our diesel engines in Dagenham, which is just down the road, and we make power packs for our electric vehicles in Hillwood, just outside Liverpool.
But you make the Transits themselves in Turkey?
That's right, yes we do, and that's around efficiency and just centering engineering and manufacturing into one place rather than multiple sites across Europe.
60 years on, the Transit is still a major brand, but in a fast-changing world with more competition than ever before, is it now just another van? I asked someone who's been watching the industry for decades, the president of the AA.
In the 60s, 70s, 80s, if someone's father had a Transit, they would get a Transit. If their building yard had a Transit, they'd get a Transit. I think that's changing now. There's more competition across the van segment, and therefore brand loyalty is certainly not as strong as it used to be.
No pets,
Nevertheless, while other once popular models like Ford's Mondeo and Fiesta or the Vauxhall Cavalier have been consigned to history, the Transit is still going strong up and down the nation's highways. Theo Leggett, BBC News.
So, King of the Road, well, I've got a gentleman with me who would agree with that. This is Peter Lee, and Peter, by the way, is the owner of that beautiful vehicle you saw just before that report. Peter, what makes these vans so special?
I worked on them at the line in Langley a long time ago, a lifetime ago, and I really fell in love with the vehicle then because it's the technicality of it all, you know, what makes the wheels go round and what makes the engine pump. And the V4 was always, and still is today, a really favourite engine amongst a lot of the members. It's just nice, freedom of the road, you know, the freedom to go where you want, when you want. Petrol was a lot cheaper than it is now, so you go a lot further.
Yeah,
I ended up in Spain, lived in it for 13 months as a hippie.
Oh,
wow. On a strawberry farm. And then I came back, started a business, and before you know it, I had 180 men and 28 transit vans driving around London.
Now,
so why wouldn't I love them? I love every one of them.
Now, Peter, you are Mr. Transit Van. Give me your best one you've ever seen. Which is the one that stays in your heart?
The 65, the one you started.
The one we saw just before the report.
Yeah, definitely.
It's pristine,
yeah.
It's pristine.
It's a ground-up restoration. It's pre-production. It's got all the bits on it I love. Pedals through the floor, you know, and the actual mechanics and the technical side of things is so simple but so efficient.
And it's easy to see why it is in beautiful condition. Now, excuse me, Peter, because I want to introduce you now to Nicole, and not just Nicole, but McCartney as well. Nicole, I mean, talk me through your van. You're living in it and you've lived in it for a few years now. Why is that? What makes this a home for you?
I think just because I'd moved house like so many times, like growing up and stuff, and this was the first place that I had that really felt like home. When I got it, it kind of came with the solar panels and stuff, but since then I've ripped it out and we've put in like a new hob, I've got the new bed, it folds out into a double. Yeah, it just feels like
it
home.
looks absolutely gorgeous. I had a little nose around earlier, and so it's you and McCartney, right?
Yeah,
so it's you and McCartney on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it like to live in a van?
It's just really freeing. It's nice to be able to go wherever you want, like all the time. And yeah, it's great.
Hey, no, you calm down, you mate. You've been really good this morning. And Nicole, tell me some of the highlights of living in a van compared to, say, living in a flat or a house. What does this give you that one of those sort of traditional homes doesn't?
Well, I think obviously the main one is obviously money. I think it's always going to be a lot cheaper to do this lifestyle. Like
huge thing.
Before I moved into here, I got my degree, I got my job using my degree, and then I was in a car crash and wrote my car off, so I needed a vehicle. So then this kind of all just, the stars aligned, and then since then the amount of money that you save compared to that previous lifestyle, it's huge.
Now tell me, just briefly, did it have to be a transit van, or were you any van, or are you a recent convert, or were you always going to get a transit?
Honestly,
briefly?
This is just what was available on Basic Marketplace at the time, so that's just how it worked out.
but 2 years in and you love it?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah,
fantastic. So there you go. Thank you very much. Naga Charlie, just a little flavour of what the sort of passion around this vehicle. Like I say, 60 years old this week.
Are you going to leave with a transit van at some point?
I tell you what, that first one we were looking at, Naga, I mean, if I could have just a little drive around the field in that this morning, it is beautiful. It is, and we've got a huge collection. We'll show you a bit more before the end of the programme. There are some beautiful, stunning vehicles. So I'm delighted to say we're joined now by Housie. He's a member of the Transit Van Fan Club. Housie, talk me through, why are you so passionate about these vans?
It was the first vehicle I ever drove. At 14 years old, I managed to drive a transit van that was on a farm, and when I passed my test at 17, it was the first vehicle that I bought, Ford Transit.
And what about your working life? Because talk me through that.
I've been self-employed all of my life, and I've always had a transit. I've had a transit for the last 50-odd years.
Now, this isn't a working van. I mean,
no,
this is a work of art almost.
This is, we've got a small home, and we didn't have room for a man cave, so I turned this into a van cave.
A van cave, and a brilliant van cave it is. So thank you very much, Housie. I've also got to show you a real slice of history here. I'm joined by Ted. Ted Ryan, he's the official historian at Ford. Ted, talk me through these two documents. These are incredible.
I will. This is the founding document for the transit program. This is the one that authorized transit, went to the board of directors.
And this is July the 10th, 1963. $38 million. And that's $38 million 1963 money. This is the foundation document of the transit van, right?
Major investment in the transit worldwide.
And talk me through, this was a partnership between manufacturers in Britain and Germany, right?
It was to get a common van. Each one had their own van, and this document authorized a program to get a common van, which became the Transit, which is now sold around the world.
Okay, so the foundation document here. Talk me through the next one. This is really special.
The next one is pretty cool. This is where you actually get the name Transit, because there were other ideas. Naming is the sport of kings, Leo Cook said.
Right.
And this is the one where the name Transit is officially chosen.
So this is it. This is the one that says this is going to be called Ford Transit. And that's the legacy 60 years ago. I mean, that's the legacy of 60 years right here.
100%.
And I've got to show the viewers something here. The very front of this document, we're going to try and show it you now. This document went to the grandson of Henry Ford, one William Ford. So the grandson of the founder, that's how high up this sort of stuff went.
It was, and he was head of design, so he's the one that made the final call on the name, Ford Transit.
Wow, okay, so that is the history of the Ford Transit van right there. And what do these vans mean to people? Because we've got a slight flavour of it this morning. There's a real sense of community around this van, isn't there?
It is. People have a passion for vehicles. There are only a couple of things you give nicknames to. Golf clubs and vans and vehicles are one of them. And you see the passion come to life with the crew that's here today.
And you're obviously an historian for Ford. I mean, how often do you get to see a community like this come together? Like I said before, it's almost like a mini transit van fest. They're here for the whole weekend. There's a real legacy with this van.
It is. It's one of the best things I get to do in my job. I get to meet the Transit fans, the Mustang fans, fans of our vehicles around the world.
And the documents that you have here, these have come out of the Ford archive. I mean, these really are the building blocks of the Transit van and the 60 years that everybody knows it.
This is the foundation of the Transit. 2 documents that changed vanning history forever.
Right, and I've just got to say, so thank you very much, Ted. I've also just got to say that that point that Theo made in his report about being the favourite getaway vehicle, basically, of 1970s robbers. The reason being because the Metropolitan Police in London said it could carry 1.75 tonnes of loot, to quote, and it could drive like a car. So it was very handy for those bank robbers back a few decades ago. Now, enough of all this, because I haven't had a ride in one yet, so... what I'm going to do, Naga and Charlie, is this is the sort of sum up of my whole morning. I can't wait. Nick here is going to give me a lift. We're going to go in search of a bacon sarnie. So thanks very much. Hope you enjoyed all the pictures. Some stunning vehicles, some lovely people. Nick, shall we go?
Let's go.
Right, see you later. I'll put my seatbelt on, don't worry.
He could not have been happier, could he? A man in a transit van going for a bacon butty.
That's a very cool one as well.
It's a very, very cool one.
It's got the 6 wheels, hasn't it? That was a 6-wheeler. I'm no expert on this, but
there were 6-wheelers.
Yeah, there were two on either side at the back. I always thought that was very cool. I don't know why it had 6 wheels, but it did.
Should have asked Dan. He's gone now.